excited about the new books coming out today that I get to unpack and realised that I haven't talked to you about comics I've been reading in quite some time, about a month. And so today we're going to go through some of my favourite trades and single issues I've read in the past month. Let's talk about two series currently in single issues. The first is Hi-Fi Fight Club by Carly Usden and Nina Vakuiva. From the moment I saw this cover in previews many moons ago, I knew it was going to be a comic I like. First, it's boombox, which means it's going to be fun and bright and something a little bit different than your typical superhero comic book. It's all set in the year 1998. Ah, what a magical year it was. Discmans, Spice Girls, Babysitter's Club, all the stuff that I grew up loving. It stars Chris, who's a young girl just getting her first job over at Vinyl Mayhem, the raddest record store in town. The creators say it's a little bit Fight Club and a little bit Empire Records, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. All the employees at this store have their thing going on. There's the goth girl, there's a girl that's into punk, there's a girl that's into pop, there's a girl that loves TLC. They all have their type of music, their genre that they absolutely love, and they all have a very unique style, which I also really enjoyed. It's got a really nostalgic feel to it. There's a really great opening scene with Chris running along the street, dropping her Discman. Oh my gosh, the fear in my eyes when that used to happen to me. And it used to have this pouch that you put your Discman in, and it was all padded, and God forbid you forgot that pouch, because you would drop it and smash it. I've gone on a Discman rant. Anyway, she drops the Discman, it's a-okay, her CD still plays, it works fine. But it's those kind of moments in this comic that really had my attention. I love the art, it's beautiful. I'm really excited to see where this comic is going to go. A lot of people are saying they're getting sick of the same kind of formulaic boombox comics with all female characters, friendship, fun, but I have to tell you, that's what I want in my comics. I am a female, I do like friendship, and I do like having fun, so the more comics we have without doom and gloom, the better. Next is Moonstruck by Grace Ellis and Shay Beagle. Some of you may remember Grace Ellis from her work on Lumberjanes. Yes, one of the original creators of Lumberjanes has got this brand new series. It's all set in a mythical world where all these creatures, centaurs, werewolves, vampires, they all live together, and it's kind of like human world. There's cafes, they have jobs. There are two characters that I absolutely love, Julie and Selena. They're both werewolves, and they've just decided to go on their very first proper date. It's to a magic show, and we're up to issue 2 already. If you guys absolutely love charming, wonderful, whimsical comics set in a coffee shop for a lot of the time, oh my gosh. It is beautiful, soft coloring with pastel pinks and purples, and everybody is not tiny, and not everyone looks the same. There's different body types, different creatures, different ethnicities. I absolutely just adore this comic. It is so much fun, and that kind of comic that you're gonna look forward to reading every single month. Next, let's talk trades. The first is one that I waited a very long time to get. Narwhal, Unicorn of the Sea by Ben Clanton. I waited so long to read this book. I pre-ordered it, it went out of print, I missed out. It's literally been out for months, and now finally I got to read all about Narwhal and his friend Jelly the jellyfish. Now somebody pointed out to me, which made me quite upset, that they are Arctic animals. They live in very cold water, and so they wouldn't really be friends with turtles and jellyfish and other things that don't really survive in that colder water. Well, you can just shush. Let's go into imagination land and think happy thoughts as I tell you the tale of Narwhal, Unicorn of the Sea. Narwhal is going on an adventure to meet his pod, his people, other narwhals, keep going to say unicorn, now other narwhals just like him. And so when he can't find other ones, he decides to make everyone that he meets, all his friends, part of his pod by giving them all unicorn horns. This book is charming from start to finish, and I really like Narwhal and Jelly's love of waffles. They always talk about waffles, what they're gonna do with waffles, how they're gonna eat them, who they're gonna share them with. It's a great fun to read. Stephen King's Creepshow, a George A. Romero film. Art by Bernie Wrightson. So it's no surprise to anyone if you watch my birthday vlog. I'm very obsessed with Creepshow right now. I'd never seen it before. Wonderful horror film paying tribute to classic EC comics, Tales from the Crypt type stuff that I grew up loving, How have I never seen Creepshow? Anyway, this comic originally came out in 1982, I think. It came out in unison with the film Creepshow. It is a perfect, pretty much panel for panel breakdown of each of the short stories from the classic George A. Romero and Stephen King horror film. My absolute favourite from both the comic and the movie is the lonesome death of Geordie Verrill. This had the best special effects in the film that I had seen, and I wondered if it was going to translate great to comics, and it did. The lush greenery growing from chairs and all over poor Geordie is just something to see. It's crazy, it's over the top, and it's that kind of spooky that gives you the giggles. Crafty Cat and the Crafty Camp Crisis by Charisse Marisol Harper. Get your paws ready, it's crafty time! Yes people, Crafty Cat and the Crafty Camp Crisis is a follow-up to a book I haven't read yet called Crafty Cat. I didn't pre-order the Crafty Cat original graphic novel, and I should have. See, even I forget to pre-order things and then I don't get them, and I work in comics. It's my job. I work in a comic store all day, every day, and I missed out because I didn't pre-order. Let that be a lesson to us all. Crafty Cat is a really, really fun and educational comic that teaches you how to deal with certain situations and by using craft as an outlet. So Birdie is a young girl whose superhero identity is Crafty Cat. When bad things happen, she focuses and she gets out her crafting kit and she makes something creative. In this volume, Crafty Cat is super excited to get to craft camp. She's waited all year for it. She's going with her best friend, and then they get there and find out that the school bully is also there. She's so worried. This bully's been horrible to her all year, but she decides to try and turn all that negative energy that keeps coming from the bully who steals her pencils and pushes her art and tells her horrible, horrible things to make wonderful pieces of art, things that she's proud of, like a beautiful crown or perhaps a little cloud. And the best thing about this comic is that you too can follow along and make those crafts to make yourself happy. The little mini cloud, the thing I'm really looking forward to making is the How I'm Feeling Today monster that I can stick on my uniform and it'll always have a smiley face, because let's be honest, most of the time I'm either sass or happy, one or the other. But it's a really great comic for all ages, and I really, really liked how they dealt with the bully and how to interact in those sort of situations. It's great life lessons for young and old. So that's some of the gazillion books that I've read in the past month. I've also still been loving Green Lanterns. I'm reading a lot of SpongeBob comics. I've been reading a ton of manga, some terrible, like She and Her Cat, I don't know what that was, but I'm reading Plum, Tales of a Tiger Striped Cat today, 2 cat comics. That's really great so far. Let me know what you guys are reading in the comments down below so I can check it out. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week. You can hit me up at www.nerd-burger.com, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at NerdBurgerCaz. And I'll catch you guys later this week.